We're talking spare ribs today. I know everyone's getting ready. It's Memorial Day weekend coming up. A lot of people are going to be barbecuing. Hopefully the weather's going to be great where you are. I wanted to show you how I like to do some spare ribs. These ribs are extra meaty ribs. They've got more meat on the bones than your loin back cut. And these are what you call a St. Louis cut, which means just that top part of the backbone has been removed off these slabs. It makes them nice and uniform. I've got them trimmed up just a little, pulled the membranes off the back side. And what we're going to do is show you how I like to cook spare ribs, and these are going to drive your friends and family crazy, I promise you. So the first thing we want to do is I hit them with a little bit of an all-purpose seasoning. This is kind of just a blend of some salt and pepper and some garlic, a few other spices, a little bit of onion, and it just kind of wakes up the flavor on these ribs. It gives it a good base coat. After I get both sides good with this all-purpose, I'm going to come back and slather on just a little bit of mustard to bind my rub on it. And that barbecue rub is what's going to really give it its flavor. And that's what's really bringing the outside texture, the bark to it, if you will. But that's what gives it a great color with the barbecue rub that we use. And then, of course, I make both of these myself. You can use other stuff, but we want to use our products because that's what's getting us the checks. So what I'm going to do is just slather on a light little coat of mustard on both sides of these ribs. And it don't take a whole lot because the mustard is a binder. We're not using it for flavor. You can use a little olive oil, a little peanut oil, whatever you like. Honey mustard, but just regular old yellow mustard. It does the trick. You just want to get it rubbed in. And it's kind of making that all-purpose rub stick too. You can see some of the peppers in it. And all I do is I come back with the barbecue rub. It's Killer Hog's product. I just give it a nice coat on this back side. Today we're going to cook these about 235 degrees, and for spare ribs it takes about 5 hours total cook time, but I'll walk you through the process when I get them on the grill. Always remember to get your edges. You want all sides covered with your seasoning. You don't have to rub it in, just let the rub stick. That's what the mustard's for, it makes it bind to it. See how pretty that is? Now we flip them over and get this top side. And once I get the mustard and light coat on this side, the spare St. Louis cut ribs are going to be ready to go on some smoke. This is similar, this is the same process I use when I'm doing competitions. Start the same way. A lot of times we're doing loin back ribs because in our part of the country, loin's a little more popular, but I also do spares sometimes too. Just depending on what the judges in the region I'm cooking want. Touch up any spots that look bare. Get your ends. You've got St. Louis cut spare ribs ready for the cooker. Now I want you to see that color on these. That's coming from that barbecue rub. It really brings out that true competition barbecue color that these judges are looking for. Every rub's got good flavor and some spices and stuff, but the barbecue rub's going to bring that color every time. Before I prep those spare ribs, I want to come outside and fire my Yoder up. Set it on about 235 degrees, and you can see it's holding steady right here, 236, 235. That's right where I want it. This is the YS480 model, and it's a perfect little grill for cooking at home. I'm going to get these spare ribs in here. Just going to put them across the rack and let this Yoder do its magic. If you're cooking at home, you want to get your grill up to about 235 degrees. That's perfect for cooking ribs. I'm using cherry pellets today to give me some good smoked flavor. And it's going to be dynamite here about 5 hours. Alright, I got one of my famous concoctions mixed up here to base these ribs. I've already hit them one time after the first 45 minutes. It's been an hour and a half. It's time to hit them again. But what it is, it's some apple juice, a little pineapple juice, some cider vinegar, a little bit of olive oil, and just a little bit of sweet red wine. And it makes a good base for ribs. You know, I'll use all different kinds of things, but you can tell if you don't watch them, they'll start drying just a tad. So that's why we want to keep something on them, keep them nice and moist. But they're looking good. Okay, it's been about 3 hours on these St. Louis spare ribs. I'm going to go ahead and take them off. It's time to take them in time and wrap them, get them tender. They got all the smoke flavor that I want to get on them. They're looking really good. I mean, when you get this color on a slab of ribs, let me take these out and show you what it looks like. That's what they should look like right there. Even on the back side, I mean, it's got some perfect color on it. Now they just need to tenderize a little bit. So I'll lay them up here. This slab's the same way. It's beautiful. That's the way a slab of spare ribs should look. So we're going to take these in, get them wrapped up. All right, right now I'm going to show you how I wrap up these St. Louis cut ribs to give them the tender. And all I do is start on the back side, put the magic blue bottle on, a little parquet margarine. It's going to bring some full flavor to it, give it some richness. Then I want to hit them with just a little bit of light brown sugar. That brown sugar magic. And there's one other thing we do to them, is hit them for a little bit of good honey. The honey's for the money, that's what I tell them. Honey's for the money. You hit them on one side, flip them over, hit them with a little more butter on this side. A little more brown sugar. Keep them nice and sweet, rich. A little bit of money honey. Just gonna drive them crazy right here. Now you get these wrapped up tight, get them back on. We're going to check them in about 1.5 hours. They ought to be really tender. Whoa, there went the butter. Put them on one flip, put them on another flip. Fold it down. Fold it back over. It goes right back on the cooker, just like that, meat side down. That'll let all that meat set in that honey and that brown sugar and butter. It'll get tender, but it won't start falling apart on you. That's the whole trick, kicking the meat side down. We'll get this other slab wrapped up, get them back on. We'll see what they look like in about 1.5 hours. The ribs wrapped up. We're getting ready to put them right back on this cooker. We'll do it as fast as possible. But they're going to need about another 1.5 hours to get really tender where I want them. So, right back in the same spot. Just make sure you go meat side down. Well, the way you wrapped it, leave the full up. Nothing can get out. And we'll come back and check these in a little bit, and I'll show you what they're looking like when they get perfectly tender. We're going to take them out, glaze them, and then we're going to eat them. That's the best part of this whole process. I wanted to check these ribs after about 1.5 hours in the full to see where I am tenderness. And these are about where I want them. I can take them and break them if I wanted to, and that's all I look for. Kind of, you can give that bone a twist, and it's going to break or pull out. It's done. So these are ready to glaze right now. I think they're as tender as I need them to be. Yeah, I could take them, separate it. So, okay, after about 1.5 hours in the wrap, I've got the ribs back on the grill. What I like to do is place them on one of these large full sheet pan cooling racks. It just makes them easier to move around. I don't have to worry about breaking them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them back on here and kind of set a glaze on them. And this is just the barbecue sauce, our sauce that we sell. And all I do is just get me a basting mop and come back and just put a light coat on them. I've already hit the underside, so I wanted you to see me putting it on the top. But what you would do is just gently flip them over, get both sides. But they need about 30 minutes here, just long enough to set this glaze, let it caramelize a little bit, and then these ribs will be ready to cut and eat. I'll show you what they look like in just a few minutes. All right, I pulled these ribs off after glazing for about 30 minutes, and I'm just cutting them into single bones here. And they're done exactly how I want them. You can see the smoke ring that we've got in them. The smoke penetration's good. The tenderness is right on point. I'll take a bite of one and show you here. Show you what you want to see when you take a bite of one of these. One bite comes off. That's it. Perfect spare rib. You can do them just like this. Follow this technique. Your Memorial Day barbecue will be a big hit, I promise.